pregame show.
Man, I've been waiting for this for so long. It's the start of another NBA regular season. Along with Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, we'll be watching the Los Angeles Clippers playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And for Oklahoma City, coming off a loss in the first game of the season, they'll no doubt be anxious to put tonight's contest in the win column and avoid an 0-2 start. Oklahoma City's got some guys who can hurt you from the outside. How do you game plan against that?
Well, one, Ernie, you have to run them off that line. You just can't let them stand out there and shoot threes. You have to hustle and really, really close out to the wing. And when they're shooting, put a hand in their face, make it tough for them, and hope and pray that they don't get hot that night.
Pretty darn dynamic when you got Westbrook and Durant coming at you.
Yes, you know, those guys are very, very explosive. And also, Ernie, with Ibaka, you got to take away their inside play.
True. Thanks for joining us. We go courtside now to Kevin Harlan.
And now introducing your Los Angeles Clippers. At the small forward position, 6 feet 7 inches, number 22, Matt Barnes. At guard, 6'5" from Michigan, number 11, Jamal Crawford. Man in the middle, 6'11" from Texas A&M, number 6, DeAndre Jordan. And at forward, 6'10" from Oklahoma, number 32, Blake Griffin. At guard, 6 foot from Wake Forest, number 3, Chris Doc Rivers is the head coach for your home team.
We are live. It's a Thursday night presentation here on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. We'll also be hearing from our friend Dorsberg from the sideline. A contest in the West. We'll see if the Los Angeles Clippers can deliver the goods here at home. And going against Oklahoma City, their first meeting of the year, they will be out for revenge after losing to them in last year's playoffs in 6 games.
Well, if this is a matchup that feels familiar, it's because it is. And just last season, they were knocked out of the conference semis by this club.
So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Ibaka at the 4 with Perkins at the pivot. Morrow is the 2 with Durant the 3. And it's Westbrook in at the point. So it's the Thunder now. After the miss from Crawford, Perkins. Soft touch off the glass. Perkins got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Thunder. Clark, that probably weighs on their minds here. A little payback might be in order.
Yeah, I agree. A little payback, definitely. That game might seem like a long time ago, but I guarantee you it's fresh in some minds here.
Crawford, no one around him. Crawford with another miss. Looking at the last game for the Oklahoma City Thunder, it was a loss to the Trailblazers in Portland.
And a loss like that, guys, you've just got to flush it down the toilet and put it behind you.
Yeah, you do, Steve, but it's much easier said than done. I mean, it's hard not to dwell on the type of poor performance it was for them. Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
And just about a minute into the first quarter. Outside Durant. Ibaka sets the pick for Durant. And that's collected by DeAndre Jordan. Paul with the ball. Westbrook picks him up. Crawford outside. Now Griffin inside. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge, always. Well, Jamal Crawford has proven that no matter what role he plays, just call him buckets. He can flat out put the ball in the basket. You got to give him a lot of credit, though. He does change his game quite a bit depending on if he's coming off the bench or starting. I think that speaks to his IQ.
Clippers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Griffin dishes to Paul. Barnes against Durant. Griffin a screen on Ibaka. Three-pointer. Goes back up, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That one on Perkins.
And the defense fouling there to prevent that layup, forcing 2 free throws here.
Nice job that time of attacking the paint and drawing the contact. They'll take that.
Well, Griffin, a former dunk contest champion, but make no mistake, Blake is a game dunker, always among the league leaders. And at his size, with that strength, the way he gets off the floor is just unbelievable.
And the free throw is good, now leading by 1. You know, Blake Griffin gets up so high. He's created some debate, in fact, on the definition of a dunk. So I'll ask, does your hand have to touch the rim?
You know, I think you don't necessarily have to have your hand touch the rim, Kevin, but you do have to throw it through the goal. None of this raggedy type dunk stuff.
Got to control it.
You got to, yeah, I like that's the word I was looking for.
You know, for a player whose star shines as brightly as Blake Griffin, Steve, it seems there are a lot of naysayers regarding his game, although I think you and I would agree he expanded his game, certainly this past year.
Well, I can tell you this. I am not one of those naysayers because I think Blake Griffin was the 3rd best player in the NBA last year. The offensive expansion to his game, the post game, the passing, the ball handling in transition. I mean, he is an amazing player, and he has gotten better and better every year.
Here's Crawford. Kevin Durant picking up that last basket. Crawford's shot is good. Crawford's got his first 2 points.
Well, he wasn't phased at all by the bigger man on him, and on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
Now here's Westbrook. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Portland.
Yeah, not to mention 4 big steals on the night. He was getting it done at both ends of the floor.
And, you know, hey, anytime a player starts to get a lot of endorsements and TV spots, it puts them under the magnifying glass. You become a target. Other players see Blake Griffin on that pedestal, and they're not going to hesitate sometimes to try to take him down the peg.
Here's Morrow. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets. An exquisite pass to set up Clark, that beautiful alley-oop dunk.
Yeah, it was nice.
Just a gorgeous assist. And for Griffin, an all-star from his rookie season, the spotlight came early, but it hasn't taken away from his competitive drive. And I think the criticism he's faced, fair or not, will only spur him to greater heights.
And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. Spencer Hawes is checked in for Jordan. Davis comes in for Blake Griffin. Jared Dudley's checked in for Barnes. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Jamal Crawford. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Adams, he's checked in for Perkins. Collison comes in for Serge Ibaka. Jeremy Lamb's checked in for Anthony Morrow. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Now here's Adams. That's good. Adams has got his first bucket of the night. Jackson against Paul. Davis sets a screen. And Redick kicks to Dudley. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
It's Jackson with the drive. It's hauled in by Spencer Hawes. The Clippers have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Here's Redick. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Los Angeles shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. The first one falls. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
Boy, his free throw shooting, just another reason he's such a good all-around player.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. It's Durant on the wing, all alone. And that's collected by Spencer Hawes.
Major defensive lapse right there. And he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Floats one up, and Davis can't get it to go. 1 second left. No good. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Clippers lead by 2. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles.
Bring your costume. It's Halloween in the NBA. Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs take on Goran Dragic and the Phoenix Suns this Friday. Don't miss it.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Clippers, guys.
Well, the thing they tried to establish right away was the presence down low. You look at the points in the paint. I think that's been the difference.
Yeah, and I like the fact, Steve, that they're not settling for the outside shots. I mean, go in there and get what you want. Keep attacking the rim.
Oklahoma City trailer.
You know, the Clippers had really good depth at the guard positions, but last season their lack of depth along the front line was a real problem. One they hope has been solved this season.
On the floor for Oklahoma City, getting going here in the second quarter. Durant and Collison at the 3 and the 4. Jeremy Lamb out there with Reggie Jackson. And it's Adams in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And Redick kicks to Paul. And he's on the money with his first shot today. Paul's got his first 2 points of the night. And looking at the Clippers bench, maybe the strongest in the NBA 2 seasons ago.
Well, the Bledsoe trade weakened their bench, but it strengthened their starting lineup. But a winning team in Los Angeles with a players coach like Doc Rivers, I mean, you knew they'd be able to find some help.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Guys, Jamal Crawford fitting right in with the Los Angeles Clippers. He said, quote, "This is the best team I've ever been on, and it's made me a better player. I've never played with someone like Chris Paul. He makes the game easy for me. I went my first 10 years in the league without making the playoffs, so that's all I want to do now." Kevin, over to you.
In his instant offensive role, he's a big part of their success. Thanks, Doris.
Steven Adams, he was taken 12th overall by the Thunder in the 2013 draft. You know, viewed as more of a project, but what an impressive start in his rookie season. I think he's the future in terms of the center position for Oklahoma City.
And the pick that the Thunder used to select Adams, acquired in the James Harden trade. They hated to see Harden go, but it seems they got a quality player in Adams, that's for sure. This kid has tremendous potential. They did well to find a talented 7-footer late in the lottery, especially considering how weak the draft was.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Hawes. Griffin comes in for Davis. Matt Barnes is checked in for Jared Dudley. And it's Crawford in for Paul. And the second free throw, good. And for Steven Adams, just 1 year at the University of Pittsburgh, he got better and better, Steve, as the year wore on.
Yeah, I'll say he's a guy who understands his strengths. He's huge. He's relentless on the offensive glass. Pretty good hands and can finish at the rim. I think he still has a lot of room to grow.
Ibaka sets the pick for Westbrook. Outside Jackson. And here's Morrow outside. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time.
Well, you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
The Clippers trail. Pass to Redick. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter.
J.J. Redick, acquired by the Clippers going into last season. A great fit, but injuries really held him back. First, surgery to repair ligaments in his wrist, then a bulged disc in his lower back. Ended up playing just 35 games in the regular season.
That free throw missing. And Redick, were it not for the injuries, is on pace, Clark, for the best season of his 8-year NBA career.
Kevin would have been a career high in points per game. Great efficiency for Redick as well. He flourished playing alongside former ACC rival CP3, Chris Paul.
And the Thunder making a change here. Perkins is checked in. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also.
I didn't expect that result when he stepped up there. I'll bet he didn't either. As good a foul shooter as he is.
In low to Ibaka. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
Morrow, the pass to Westbrook. Can't get it to go. And the Clippers will come the other way. Crawford outside. He kicks it to Redick. The dish now to Griffin. Crawford outside. 6 to shoot. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Crawford's got his second bucket of the game to go.
That mid-range jumper, just another one of his weapons.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
Looks like he saw some things out there that needed adjusting and wants to talk it over a little bit with his club.
I don't think you can ever go wrong burning a timeout if you see something you don't like and you need to talk about it.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Scott Brooks was discussing with his players. The strategy included running the offense through Russell Westbrook. Coach detailed the ways to ensure he's the one in charge out there, with the ball in his hands and the rest of the players falling in line behind him. Guys, they're clearly hoping those changes have an effect even before this game makes it to halftime. Kevin?
Thanks, Doris.
Well, they've settled into a pretty nice groove here offensively in the second quarter.
Yeah, I like the way they picked up the pace shooting the ball. I mean, the field goal percentage upwards of 50% now.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here.
When you face the Oklahoma City Thunder, one of the things defensively that you have to prioritize is keeping them out of transition. This team is long and athletic, and if they get out in the open court, you're in big trouble.
Clippers trail by 5. Crawford dishes to Redick, and there's the pass to Griffin. Rejected by Ibaka. A nice shot by Griffin. 1:32 left here in the second. Here's Westbrook. Shot's good. Westbrook's got 5 points now in the quarter. And the Thunder in the half court, more of a jump shooting team.
And sometimes that can be a backhanded compliment. When you look at their roster, Durant, Westbrook, Ibaka, even Reggie Jackson, you know, all pretty good from mid-range. So they spread you out, and then, of course, Durant's jump shot is pretty much unguardable.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's cost him.
Dishes to Morrow. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Griffin with the steal. shoots from 12. And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Crawford.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
And Westbrook, here we go. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but drew contact. He'll head to the line. It's going to be on Blake Griffin.
Russell Westbrook, one of the best success stories when it comes to converting a scoring guard to playing the point. But it's his overall talent that's made him successful. His will, his competitiveness, and his incredible athleticism.
That one is off.
And Westbrook is a phenomenal rebounder and scorer at the point guard position. He gets steals. He really is one of the stat sheet stuffer supreme guys in the league.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Spencer Hawes is checked in for Jordan. Dudley comes in for J.J. Redick. And Paul subbed in for Jamal Crawford. And Westbrook every season among the league leaders, Steve, in assists, but also, unfortunately, in turnovers.
Well, with his scoring burden, that's to be expected, but it's definitely an area he can continue to improve.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over here.
Well, I just, you know what, come on, I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force.
And it's the Clippers with the ball. The Thunder making the shot. It's good, and the Thunder lead is cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from Blake Griffin.
Boy, he just battled through that initial impact and somehow willed it in.
Excellent concentration. That's what you like to see.
And the Thunder making a change here. On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. Griffin no good on the free throw. Collison with it. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. With 1 on the clock, and he knocks down the jumper. And the Thunder lead by 4. And a tight game here as we end the first half. Oklahoma City out in front, up 4. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Scott, what exactly are they doing to take away your transition game?
They're doing a great job of getting back. That's what they do. We just have to make sure we get softs first and then the front out.
Scott, thank you, guys. Job 1 against this team. Get them out of transition.
All right, Doris, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway. We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. You look at Blake Griffin in this game. He's been everywhere.
I like that he didn't force anything in that first half. His decision-making was really flawless.
That being the case, Steve, I think they want him to be more assertive in the second half. Look to take more shots. Be a little more shot hungry, even the tough ones.
The Thunder leading by 4. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. Blake Griffin down low and DeAndre Jordan. CP3 and Jamal Crawford make the back. And it's Barnes in at the 3. Clock at 4. And here's Westbrook from the arc. And it's Griffin with the rebound. Griffin's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
So much has been made about whether this is Durant's team or Westbrook's team, but in reality, I think it's both of their teams. I mean, Durant does what he does. He's an elite scorer, as is Westbrook. They couldn't be the team they are, the Thunder, without both of those guys being excellent and leading the way they do.
Now here's Westbrook, following the miss by Griffin. Outside Westbrook. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, going back a few seasons, the Thunder with a great young foundation, but they were faced with some tough financial decisions. In the end, Serge Ibaka was extended. James Harden was traded. Now most would argue that Harden is the better player, but of course, as far as fit is concerned, Ibaka, I think, was the right choice because of his defensive prowess.
Free throw good, Westbrook. And Serge Ibaka, Clark, a player that every team in the NBA covets. Stretch 4 with 3-point range. Also block shots, and he can play some center too.
Kevin, that's a very unique skill set he has. I mean, actually, he might be the only player in the league who truly fits that description you just laid out.
And Russell Westbrook drops them both.
You know, the NBA is a talent league, and it's hard to win in the NBA without superstar talent. And the Thunder are fortunate to have 2 superstars in Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Those 2 give them a chance to win no matter who they're facing up against or where they're playing.
Yep, it goes, and the Oklahoma City lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Paul.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
Durant sets a screen for Westbrook. He dishes it to Durant. Trying to get open is Ibaka. Rebound by the Clippers. And you look at the star talent for Oklahoma City, the eternal what if. Steve, how would this team be different if they'd held on to James Harden?
Well, that's the question. I mean, to have 3 superstars, they would have been unstoppable offensively. As it is, they're hard enough to guard. But, you know, that's a question that will remain, forever unanswered.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. Jackson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Scott Brooks was discussing with his players. He said their plan was run their offense through Kevin Durant. When Coach addressed the guys in the huddle, his message was clear. Quote, he's who we want getting the bulk of the touches. He is who we want making our decisions. He also said he wants them going hard to the boards at both ends of the floor, not just the defensive backboards. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris. Let's take a look at last year's leading shot blockers. You don't want one of these guys in front of you when you're coming down the lane. Serge Ibaka is second. DeAndre Jordan third.
Well, their defense down on the block is so good. Both of them just seem to anchor their team's D, and wow, what a weapon to have.
And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Now here's Paul. 5 points in the game. Crawford kicks to Griffin. The fader. No good off the back of the rim. The Thunder leading by 3. It's Durant with the drive. That's good. Durant's got 6.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
The Clippers have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Crawford passes to Griffin. There's the lob to the hoop. It's tipped. Durant with it. Guarded now by Barnes. Feeds it to Morrow. Outside Jackson. Perkins dishes to Ibaka. Can't hit. And the Clippers will come the other way.
Well, what an incredible journey it's been for Serge Ibaka. Growing up in the Congo during a terrible civil war, the tragic loss of his mom to a stroke, the streets so unsafe that she couldn't leave the home to go to a hospital. To go from that to where he is now, man, an indescribable contrast and an amazing story.
Here's Jackson. The Clippers getting the bucket. Perkins with a screen on Barnes. Jackson kicks to Morrow. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Morrow's got the lead up to 6 now for the Thunder.
What are they thinking leaving him with all that space out there? Do they not know? Have they not heard that this guy is unbelievable? That's a layup for him.
Now here's Paul. He's got 5, and yes, sir, that one drops. 1:04 left to play here in the third. Pass to Durant. Ibaka outside. Ball against Jackson. Clock at 6. Here's Morrow, and he gets it to go. Morrow's got 5 points in the quarter.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
Jordan sets the pick for Paul. Nobody near Barnes. Second chance shot. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. The Clippers have converted 4 of 7 free throws on the night. And he makes the first.
DeAndre Jordan has always had a knack for the incredible, and it usually manifests itself in his dunks or blocks. But last year he committed himself more on the defensive end, and it really made a difference for him.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Spencer Hawes is checked in for Griffin. Dudley comes in for Matt Barnes. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Jamal Crawford. And so Jordan nails both of them. You think about defense, Clark, and it isn't just how many shots you block. Jordan really seemed to focus on the little things that go into being successful defensively.
And I think that's a tribute to Doc Rivers, who actually emphasized some of those little things that would help Jordan elevate his game and his team. And to Jordan's credit, he took heed and made significant improvement.
Lamb. They get the rebound. Outside Durant. A second chance effort, and the jumper is good. Durant's got 4 points now in the quarter. Here's Paul. No good. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Thunder lead by 6. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the 4th quarter gets underway.
It's a Halloween broadcast of the NBA. Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers take on Carlos Boozer and the Los Angeles Lakers. Friday night, NBA Hoops. Be there.
And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
This was a showstopper, wasn't it? Just a difficult pass to make, and he makes it flawlessly to set up that alley-oop.
Clippers trail by 6, and Oklahoma City looking who they've got to start the 4th quarter. Backcourt tandem, Westbrook and Jeremy Lamb. Durant and Collison at the 3 and the 4. And it's Adams in at the 5 spot. Now here's Redick. Paul kicks to Hawes. Westbrook with the steal. And now the fast break. Westbrook with the ball. Durant with it. He's picked up by Paul. Outside Collison. Back to Durant. He feeds it to Collison. 5 to shoot. And taken away by Paul. Russell Westbrook with the rebound. The Thunder leading by 6. And it's Durant. That time on the assist from Jeremy Lamb. And that's now 10 points for Kevin Durant. Paul passes to Hawes. Kicks to Redick. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. In low to Davis. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Glenn Davis suffered that broken bone to his foot towards the end of the 2013 season, and that motivated him to slim down. He got down to the lightest weight he'd been since 8th grade, believe it or not, and still one of the strongest players in the league.
And one of the things that's amazing with Big Baby Davis is how quick on his feet he is for his size. I mean, this guy is, 260, 65 pounds. He's great at covering pick and rolls. He slides in to take charges, and with his strength, you're not going to back him down on the block. Forget about that.
Griffin's checked in for the Clippers. Barnes comes in for Jared Dudley. The Thunder also changing it up. Baca comes in for Nick Collison. And Anthony Morrow subbed in for Jeremy Lamb. And both free throws good for Davis. And you take a look at Big Baby, no question a good defender, Steve. Offensively, he can struggle, though, to finish over length.
Well, he's skilled. He's a good passer, and he can shoot from mid-range, but he's a below-the-rim type player, so he has to figure out how to use his body to get to the rim.
Clippers trail by 6. Barnes dishes to Davis. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Some great free throw shooting so far in this second half.
I think they should keep trying to initiate contact and get back to the line until they start missing from there. But as it is, they're perfect so far, so keep it up.
And that one falls for Davis. Well, suffice it to say, Clark, some big changes for the Clippers going into last season.
Well, the unusual step of trading for head coach Doc Rivers and another trade bringing in Jared Dudley and J.J. Redick, which added spacing to their offensive attack.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Crawford's checked in. And both free throws good for Davis.
And for the Clippers, re-signing Chris Paul, an important step. He really pushed the team to make the trade for Coach Rivers and used his free agency to hold their feet to the fire.
Now here's Westbrook. It's Durant on the wing. No one near him. Kept alive. Ibaka goes up again. Perkins with the bucket.
Really good awareness right there on the assist.
Clippers trail by 6.
And I think when you talk about the moves the Clippers have made, they're going in the right direction. I think that's pretty clear. Spacing to improve offensively, and a really good defensive mind in Coach Doc Rivers. Actually, one of the best defensive minds coaching in the league.
Here's Westbrook following the basket by Blake Griffin. Durant, that's good.
And now both of these clubs really in a groove here.
Already a high-scoring game, but it has become an offensive showcase down the stretch.
And it's Paul penetrating. Griffin trying to get open. Paul with the bucket.
Well, he has shot the ball well, but it has not been contagious. And his teammates, they haven't had the same groove, and that's why we're looking at this result so far.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
Looks like he saw some things out there that needed adjusting and wants to talk it over a little bit with his club.
I don't think you can ever go wrong burning a timeout if you see something you don't like and you need to talk about it.
And the Clippers making a change here. Jordan's checked in. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Scott Brooks was discussing with his players. He told his team to keep looking for three-point opportunities, saying their perimeter defense isn't doing a good job getting out on our shooters. So let's keep firing away until they decide to guard us.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
I just love the mentality they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing anything. They're moving it side to side and working to get a good shot.
Now here's Paul. Barnes with it. Back to Paul. This one for 3. Clock is at 3. Crawford, no luck. Oklahoma City leading by 6. Perkins with the screen for Westbrook. The feed to Perkins. Back to Westbrook. And good on the basket. Book it. Westbrook's got the lead up to 8 now for the Thunder.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They sure are. That's 3 straight buckets that have come off of assists.
And the Clippers call time here. They're behind by 8. 1:31 left here in the fourth quarter. .131 left to play in the final quarter. Paul goes in. It's Crawford on the wing. Paul against Westbrook. Griffin kicks to Barnes. Paul for 3. That's good. Paul's got 10 points here in the second half.
He's locked in right now, guys, hitting some big shots here in the fourth quarter.
Westbrook passes to Durant. That one rolling around and rims out. Paul dishes to Barnes. Passes it to Crawford. Paul left side. Shot from 16. Yes! What a beautiful shot to pull him to within 3.
Boy, he's flipped the switch here in the fourth quarter. That's 3 of 4 shooting here.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Amazing hops exploding to the bucket.
Kevin, you don't expect to see that coming from the point guard position.
No way.
Boy, when he elevated that size, that's impressive. Oh, that is a massive shot.
You know it is. He's stepping right into the spotlight.
We can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, you got the lead. Burn some clock here.
Smart move.
Yep.
Now here's Durant. The kick out to Westbrook. Another miss by Westbrook. Los Angeles calls timeout. They trail by 2. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Los Angeles has gone 2 or 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Paul kicks to Griffin to tie it up. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Smart foul there. You've got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
And an intentional foul right there. He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. He's able to hit the second one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. 9 seconds left in the game.
Boy, a 3 here would be huge.
Yeah, a chance to tie it up and make it even with the game on the line.
And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul. Drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
So it's Oklahoma City picking up the win. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Kevin, a terrific win against a high-caliber opponent. What can you say about how they played against you tonight?
Well, they got the heart of a champion. You know, their coach is unbelievable. He does so many good things with those guys. So we knew it was going to be a game. You know, they just kept fighting and made it tough on us, man. I'm glad we got this one out.
Kevin, thank you so much. Certainly a high-caliber win, guys. Over to you.
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our player of the game, Russell Westbrook.